The weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar. Plain and simple. That's just how I look at it.
I was shocked. I was surprised. It shocked the world.
I don't think this is much different at all from what LeBron James did when he went to Miami.
That's what makes him happy, then
Definitely crazy.
Sometimes, you got to do what's best for him.
Kevin Wayne Durant, born September 29th, 1988. Today's feature wasn't just one of the most gifted scorers to enter the NBA, he was a basketball blueprint rewritten. Nearly 7 foot tall, with the footwork of a guard and mid-range that felt automatic, and a calmness under pressure or ease to his game that made him look untouchable. He was a natural-born mismatch, a walking bucket with no true comparison. From his days at Texas to being drafted by the Seattle Supersonics and moving with the franchise to OKC, Durant represented a new era of basketball, one where size, skill, and fluidity lived in the same frame. He was the original unicorn before the league knew what to call it, and in OKC he was the foundation. The city's identity, one that fit his own number 2 underdog identity and demeanor. A small market savior who led OKC from expansion irrelevance to the NBA Finals by age 23. He had everything, the fans, the numbers, the narrative, and for a while it looked like Durant would rise as this generation's answer to the greats, not just in skill but in story. But something changed overnight. Stunted growth, as you know, doesn't always mean wasted talent or outright failure. Sometimes it means a career that looks complete on paper but never settles right in memory. And that's what happened to Durant. Despite all his success, MVPs, scoring titles, rings, his legacy, respect, and identity as a leader have always felt like they're chasing something just out of reach. Because what stops him from being universally mentioned in the GOAT conversation, not just in ability but in reputation, is how his career decisions shaped perception. He left the team he built, joined the one that not only beat but embarrassed him, won with them but still never escaped the asterisk, then wandered from project to project, super team to super team, Brooklyn to Phoenix, and now wherever team and whatever superstar he matches on paper the best with next. Still chasing that feeling he once had in OKC and still seemingly indecisive about what he actually wants from a team. There's a strange sadness to Kevin Durant's greatness. He should have had it all, legacy, loyalty, and leadership, but instead he became the face of a super team era fans are growing tired of, and while small market teams rise by doing things the hard way, Durant is still searching for shortcuts to a finish line that may not even exist. This is the story of Kevin Durant, the drifter, and how his GOAT case got lost along the way. What happened? Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Kevin Durant is a 6'10" small forward from Washington, D.C., known early as one of basketball's most complete offensive prospects. After starring at Montrose Christian School, he dominated college basketball as a freshman at Texas, averaging 25.8 points and 11.1 rebounds, and becoming the first freshman to win National Player of the Year. He was drafted 2nd overall in 2007 by the Seattle Supersonics and won Rookie of the Year before the franchise relocated to Oklahoma City. In OKC, Durant grew into a superstar, forming a young core with Russell Westbrook and James Harden that reached the NBA Finals in 2012. He won MVP in 2014 and 4 scoring titles, earning praise as a loyal, small market leader who was trying to win the hard way. But after blowing a 3-1 lead to Golden State in 2016, Durant shocked the league by joining the same team that had eliminated him, forever altering his legacy. Stunt number 1, leaving OKC and abandoning what he built. Kevin Durant had already done the hardest part of his career to that point. He built something real in Oklahoma City. He was the face of the franchise, beloved by the city, respected by the fans across the league, and seen as a hometown counter to the super team era beginning to dominate the NBA. In many ways, Durant was supposed to be that guy, the one who stuck it out, overcame the obstacles, and eventually broke through the way Dirk did in Dallas or Giannis years later in Milwaukee. But after failing to reach the finals again and blowing a 3-1 lead to the Warriors in 2016, he didn't regroup with his soldiers. He left, and in the worst possible way. He joined the ops. Joining Golden State wasn't just controversial, it was damaging forever. Durant went from admired to scrutinized and most hated overnight, a move considered even weaker than what LeBron did. The team that had just won 73 games and eliminated him didn't need him, as Draymond would later truthfully scream at him, and when he joined, it felt like a surrender. Instead of beating the best, he joined them, and while he won 2 titles and 2 finals MVPs, those championships came with an asterisk in the eyes of many that he'll never live down. The respect he had as a franchise cornerstone started to unravel the moment he left the team he built behind. Durant's decision also widened the gap between greatness and legacy. Plenty of players leave teams. LeBron did it, Kawhi Leonard, but what made Durant's move different was that he already had everything in OKC. Youth, talent, loyalty, and a chance to finish what he started. Imagine SGA loses to Indiana, then leaves OKC to join them. Leaving it all behind to join a juggernaut felt less like evolution and more like escape. And once he walked away from OKC, the narrative shifted permanently. He was no longer a builder, he became the hired gun, the drifter. And the GOAT case, it quietly took its first major hit. Stunt number 2, leaving Golden State and abandoning a dynasty in progress. For all the heat Kevin Durant took for joining the Warriors, he could have made the move worth it. He didn't just win in Golden State, he dominated 2 championships, 2 finals MVP. He was the best player on a team that looked unbeatable, and despite the backlash, fans slowly started to accept it. Winning erases everything. If Durant had stayed and ran off 5 or 6 rings, maybe even passed Steph in total accolades, he could have reshaped the entire narrative. It would have become his dynasty too. But instead, he left. Durant walked away from a perfect basketball system, and with it, his best chance at basketball immortality. There were factors that nudged him out: the infamous Draymond Green blow-up, Bob Myers' tone-deaf comments during the 2018 championship parade suggesting Steph was more one of us than KD, but none of them were enough to justify abandoning what he had. Golden State wanted him to stay. They would have retooled around him. But Durant couldn't handle never being fully embraced, never being the guy immediately, even on a team where he was clearly the best player. He took it personally and chose to reset the narrative rather than rewrite it from within. The irony is painful. Durant left OKC because he couldn't win, then left Golden State because he did win, but not in the way he wanted. It revealed the deeper issue. It was never just about basketball, it was about validation. And chasing that validation cost him more than staying ever would have. Golden State went on to win again without him. Durant went to Brooklyn and spent years trying to replicate what he already had. But truth is, he never had to leave. And by walking away from a dynasty in progress, Kevin Durant didn't just stunt his growth. He gave up control of the one narrative that could have shut everyone up for good. Stunt number 3, the super team chaser, still searching, still not leading. Since leaving Golden State, Kevin Durant has spent the rest of his career chasing titles and teammate preference instead of building legacies. At every stop, he had control, handpicking teammates, coaches, even organizations. But no matter how much talent surrounded him, he still couldn't recreate what he walked away from. In Brooklyn, Durant teamed up with Kyrie Irving, helped recruit James Harden, and backed Steve Nash as his head coach. This was supposed to be his redemption story, his own team, his own way, but it quickly unraveled. Kyrie brought drama, Harden quit on the team, and Nash was in over his head. Then came the Ben Simmons trade, Durant's last shot at salvaging the project. But Simmons never produced, and the Nets collapsed without ever reaching a conference finals. When things got tough, Durant asked out again. In Phoenix, he joined another talented core, this time Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. But once again, the chemistry never clicked. The team underachieved, and reports already linked Durant to his next possible destination. He's now played for 4 franchises, and instead of planting roots, he's constantly in motion, chasing the perfect fit that never seems to exist. Durant has become one of the faces of the super team era fans are ready to move on from. The NBA is trending back toward organic growth and stability while he's still jumping from one unstable situation to the next. For someone once positioned to lead a franchise through adversity, Durant continues to run from it. At this point, he's no longer expected to lead, just to join. And that shift, more than anything, reflects how the narrative has slipped from his hands. He may still be great, but the respect, the loyalty, and the legacy he could have had, that part's long gone. All in all, Kevin Durant's career will always be one of the most complex in NBA history. Statistically, he's one of the greatest scorers the game has ever seen. Skill-wise, he's in a category of his own. But legacy isn't just about numbers, it's about identity. And Durant's identity from OKC to Golden State to Brooklyn, now Phoenix, and wherever he goes next has become harder to define with each move. He was supposed to be the face of a franchise, the leader of a generation, maybe even the greatest to ever do it, but instead he became the drifter, forever chasing validation, running from discomfort, and leaving unfinished stories in his wake. He didn't fail to succeed, he failed to settle, and for someone with that much talent, that might be the biggest growth stunt of them all. Salute, much respect, but for these reasons, even Kevin Durant's growth was stunted. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.